What standards do Japanese women have that differ from Western women? Good question. Do you want to go ahead, John?
Japanese women are very feminine. They're very demure. They're very modest. They're not combative. They're not trashy. They're not outspoken and loud and obnoxious. They are very honorable women in the sense that they don't just do something and think like, oh, what is this effect going to have on me? They think, oh, what is this going to make my dad look like? What is this going to make my mom look like? What is this going to make my grandma look like? What's this going to make my uncle look like? So and that's a really good girl to have around, a woman that considers what her actions are going to affect not only her, but everybody around her.
The above clip is a very important point to the modern women. I was browsing through it, and the more I researched, the more I realized that there is a huge difference between the women we have in the West and the Asian and Japanese women, and why some people prefer one over the other. I thought it would be a good idea, since many of you are living in Asia, Eastern Europe, the United States, or Canada, and a comparison could be helpful. Let's begin with Asian women, as that's likely what most of you are interested in or currently involved with. From a feminine perspective, Asian women are often seen as very feminine, which is appealing to Western men. They are often described as girly, cute, and smiley. They are generally smaller in stature compared to Western women, which many men find attractive. Some men prefer to be with shorter women, especially if they themselves are taller. This height difference is intriguing to them. Asian women, particularly those from countries like Vietnam and Thailand and Japan, invest a lot of time in their appearance. They are often seen spending time in front of the mirror, focusing on makeup, hair, and smelling good. They exude a very feminine charm, which is appealing to many Western men seeking a more conventional and conservative relationship. In such relationships, the man is expected to take responsibility not only for his own life, but also for his girlfriend or wife's life. You take financial responsibility, and many men appreciate that about Asian women. Another reason why some men prefer Asian women is because they tend to be very submissive. Submissiveness is seen as a feminine characteristic that men appreciate in Asian women. They don't want a woman who constantly talks back or openly expresses dissatisfaction with their words or actions. It's a matter of personal preference and whether you can accept or desire such qualities from an Asian woman. Submissiveness and passiveness are influenced not only by cultural differences, but also by language barriers and upbringing. The language barrier often results in less communication, unless you have been living together for a long time and she speaks English fluently or another language that allows for better communication. Even then, as the language barrier diminishes, you will receive more feedback and criticism from your wife, as she becomes more comfortable expressing her concerns and dissatisfaction. Foreigners often realize this once the language barrier is eliminated or reduced, and they are able to have more open conversations about certain issues that were not discussed during the initial stages or early years of the relationship. Asian women are known for being very hardworking, and this is again influenced by their culture. In Asia, it's all about survival and self-improvement. To become better, one must work harder and take more risks. Many Asian women dedicate 12 to 16 hours a day to their businesses or work. Sacrifice is necessary if they want to reach the next level. Western men appreciate Asian women for their strong work ethic and lack of entitlement. Unlike in Western countries, the government doesn't provide much financial assistance or free money. Asian women come from more challenging backgrounds and have to make significant sacrifices to progress in life. Asian women tend to be very jealous, which can be both a good and bad trait. It's positive because if you keep her happy, she's likely to stay with you for a long time. However, the reason behind their jealousy is the fear of losing you. You represent not only her future, but also her parents' future. She knows that losing you would mean losing a valuable asset. She wants to thrive in the future and understands that keeping you in her life is essential. While some men may not appreciate Asian women's jealousy, it's important to put oneself in their shoes and consider how they would feel in a relationship with someone as valuable as you. A kind, intelligent, hardworking man who provides for the family and excels as a partner, husband, and father. Now, let's shift our focus to Western women. Living in the Western world, one of the most challenging situations for any man is to pursue a modern relationship and hope for a successful outcome. Many of us have had good intentions, simply wanting to find a loyal and loving partner, start a family, and grow old together, cherishing the life we build. Unfortunately, times have changed, and today's women seem to have different priorities. Modern women no longer aspire to be loyal and committed partners. They no longer seek to be with one man exclusively or maintain long-term relationships. They desire to explore their options, engage in casual encounters, and use men for their own pleasure. The idea of having a faithful and supportive partner who stands by your side through thick and thin has become a fantasy for most men. It's disheartening to witness the shift in attitudes and values among women today. They appear to be selfish, entitled, unappreciative, and lacking moral standards. Many of them harbor a deep resentment towards men and view them merely as a means to fulfill their desires. This harsh reality is what men must confront in their pursuit of love and stability. Furthermore, it's not just about relationships or marriage. Even the dating scene has become a daunting experience for men. Unrealistic expectations, entitlement, delusion, low return on investment, stress, disappointment, and financial strain are common outcomes of modern dating. Men are exhausted, and it's understandable why many of us feel disillusioned with it all. We are living in a world where men no longer have control over their own lives. We can't raise our children without interference until they reach adulthood. We can't maintain a stable marriage without the looming threat of divorce. Our sacrifices often go unappreciated and unrecognized, and we can't even find peace and tranquility in our own homes once a woman enters the picture. It feels as if everything we do is never enough. If we strive to be good boyfriends, providers, and protectors, we are often labeled as boring, only to be cheated on and disrespected. If we attempt to be good husbands, we face constant nagging and complaints, a sexless marriage, and the risk of divorce, resulting in the loss of our assets and even the right to see our own children. Many of us have been subjected to child support and alimony, despite our best efforts to lead our families. Considering the immense risks and consequences involved, one can't help but question the purpose of it all. What's the point of trying when the world seems to be stacked against us? If we attempt to be good men and treat women with respect, we are often rejected and labeled as nice guys or lames. The world no longer values our sacrifices or appreciates our efforts. Choosing a partner is the most crucial decision a man can make in his life. It surpasses considerations of profession, education, or material possessions. Selecting the wrong partner can lead to the destruction of one's life and a descent into poverty. It's not a matter to be taken lightly, merely based on temporary feelings of pleasure. If one can't bear the financial and emotional burdens that come with relationships, including child support, alimony, and potential ruin, then it's wise to reconsider pursuing love and relationships altogether. I understand that this truth may be difficult to accept, and some may dismiss it as fear-mongering or negativity. However, those who advocate for relationships and monogamy should consider the costs involved. If things go sour, are they willing to bear the financial burden of divorces? Are they willing to support us through the legal battles and aftermath? If not, it's best for them to refrain from commenting and making empty suggestions. Many men fail to realize the gravity of their choices when it comes to selecting a partner. It's not a game or a joke. The repercussions of a wrong decision can be catastrophic. This is why an increasing number of men are choosing to go their own way, to abstain from dating and relationships. They are tired of losing everything and gaining nothing in return. It's a growing movement where men are avoiding interactions with women altogether. While the numbers may not be significant at the moment, the trend is slowly gaining traction. Men are waking up to the fact that pursuing relationships in the Western world, where laws remain unfavorable and women's attitudes are deteriorating, is a losing battle. The best strategy for most men is to remain single. Abstinence, monk mode, and going your own way have proven to be effective ways of protecting oneself from the traps and pitfalls set by modern women. It's time to stop seeking validation from women and find fulfillment in other areas of life. By adhering to the principles of no dating, no relationships, no cohabitation, and no marriage, most men can avoid the traps that await them. It may be difficult to accept, but the truth doesn't care about our feelings. Instead of searching for elusive hope, it's crucial to acknowledge the realities of the situation and act accordingly.